In our second laboratory exercise, we're going to use Fluid Graphical User Interface Designer program that comes with FLTK library. We'll begin by making a copy of an existing project. Then we'll start using Fluid, which is able to maintain its own project settings. This project helps us to generate code for a C++ program. We can generate codes for C++ classes and functions that involves creation of graphical user interface windows. We'll discover usages of different operators and other facilities, and of course we'll get familiar with different types of graphical user interface widgets that Fluid can help us to place in our window. This is handout for this laboratory. And just a quick note that some of the techniques that we're going to be using in this laboratory are not going to be something that we're going to maintain in our future projects. This is more like a trial and error process of using different facilities. It does demonstrate various types of graphical user interface programming techniques and principles, but most of this lab is just a throwaway work. We'll be doing things differently in the future. And so the next program that we write should be better structured than what we're going to do today. So begin by copying existing Visual Studio project. This is our directory structure, and all labs are going to be done under this subfolder. And if you recall, this is Laboratory 1 project, which currently has this structure. As we're preparing to create our second project, before we're going to be making a copy, I suggest that you delete these subfolders if they exist on your system. I primarily just make selection of these subfolders right here. I right-click on them and I choose to permanently delete them from my system. So when this is done, what we can do is we can jump to the higher level, press right-click again, copy and paste in the same place, and this time we're going to be renaming it to be Lab 2 Fluid. So now we have a copy of our project with the source subfolder and all the project files. So let's open this in Visual Studio. My Visual Studio already remembers my prior location, so this is new folder that we just created, and I'll be opening the solution file right here. To make things a little bit easier, we can go to View, Other Windows, Web Browser. You can run a web browser directly inside Visual Studio. And then we can choose to copy and paste the URL of our handout directly here. And this way it's going to give us access to our lab handout directly inside the Visual Studio, so that we don't have to switch between the browser and the Visual Studio environment. So the next thing that we'd like to do is to rename the project, and we can select the new name, go to View, Solution Explorer, and first we can rename the solution. As well as the project. And perhaps we can also rename the main file of our laboratory exercise right here.